me now is Sheth, or as he's known in his non-gaming life, Sean. You're known as not only a great player, but a great coach. What does it take to be a successful coach?
Well, you have to actually enjoy talking about the game. You have to have a lot of background knowledge about it. You can't really explain like all of the things, all the strategy right away. You got to have a good way of explaining it. A lot of practice helps. I've been coaching for over a year now. And it helps that I have just background in teaching people.
And if you weren't playing StarCraft 2 competitively, what would you be doing? Would you be teaching?
Well, I went to school for it. I have around 1 year left whenever I do decide to go back, and then I'll be a high school teacher.
What goes into your training regimen as a pro gamer?
My boss, I'm in a team, and my boss really wants me to go to Korea, just to be in Korea, to experience that just nonstop. You're playing video games all the time, every day lifestyle. So recently I've been trying to show him that I can do that in the States. I don't have to be shipped off to Korea. I'm good enough to do that here. So just try and play around 12 hours a day.
You're very passionate about gaming, and you've done some crazy things. What's the craziest thing you've done for esports?
Nothing ridiculously crazy. I had a 200% scholarship, which meant I was getting paid to go to school. They were paying me tuition. And instead of doing that, I stopped before I really got any of the 200 and just played StarCraft Brood War back when there was no money and you just played because you love the game.
People are really excited that you're able to travel from country to country and play in tournaments. What held you back before from doing that?
Well, the fact when you're young and you're in college and you're trying to support yourself without being a gamer, it's really hard to justify, well, I'm going to go here for a week and I'm not going to make this class. Because in college, you really need to make every class, or at least you can't miss finals, you can't miss exams. So now that I've quit school, I'm not doing that, and I've moved out, so I have no real distractions from parents and from family visiting and just all these things. I can now play all I want.
What does your family think about what you do for a living?
They're very supportive of me now. At times it was very like, you need a real job, son. You're gonna either be a construction worker or you're gonna go to college. But either way, I like this, and now they're okay with it. There's no more of that attitude. They're just like, you moved out, you're paying your bills, okay.
Yeah, you're okay, you're good. How balanced do you think the game is right now?
It's one I'm like confronted with all the time. I feel like it's not that balanced, but I feel like none of us are good enough that we can really tell. Like the game is just constantly changing. Zerg could be overpowered and we just haven't figured it out yet. I think over time it'll get more balanced though.
What are your thoughts on cheesy players versus standard players?
It's very interesting because no player can make by with just being a pure cheesy player. The same is really true of a macro player. So if you're known as a macro player who doesn't take chances, because that's what cheese is, you're taking a very big early game risk, and so sometimes it pays off, but the main reason you would cheese is for the later games, because you want your opponent to be worried about it and be defensive. Either way, I feel like as long as you have a good mix, but more not cheese, more macro games, it's better.
Who do you think is the cheesiest player in the first ever IGN Pro League?
Well, it's obviously Cats. Obviously Cats. It's such a loaded question. It's clearly Cats. We're all going to say it.
If you had to name a rival in the IGN Pro League, who would you name?
I don't know. Anyone I play. I have to play Axel first round, so I guess he's probably my rival. Other than that, just all the Terran players, Select, Spades, those guys are pretty tough to beat.
How do you think foreigners like Koreans or Europeans would fare in a North American league?
Well, they'll be out of their home environment. Usually when we have to play in their tournaments or go over there, we're a little bit off center. We're not at our home. So, maybe they'll be put off a little bit by that, and we'll just have to see.
And finally, what do you hope to accomplish this year in your gaming?
Well, White Ross said something really nice. He said, every tournament I go into, I plan on getting top 3. And, that way, if I do better, great. If I do worse, well, I didn't get top 3, it wasn't the worst thing. So top 3 is what I'm shooting for.
Well, very nice. I hope you accomplish your goal, and best of luck to you.
Thank you so much.